I did a video talking about dying with dignity and how both my father and my stepmother died slow deaths because we're in the United States of America and we don't yet embrace death with dignity for our elders. And this person here said, "I'm so sorry, Tom. Your dad is very proud of the work you're doing now." And I want to touch on that because I think it would have been a mixed bag from my father if he were alive today. Couple of things. My father always thought Donald Trump, pre-politics, because he didn't live to see him get into politics, was a piece of shit. My father was very big on the working man. And he didn't think Donald Trump was a piece of shit because of his racism or because of his sexism, but because of how he fucked over the working man, right? My father did think Donald Trump was a piece of shit. However, my father was a racist. My father was a sexist. And had he lived to see Trumpism, I think that at least part of him would have leaned into Trumpism. Build a wall? Absolutely. Get the Mexicans out? Hell yeah. Women? Back in the kitchen. Absolutely, no doubt. Here's the fucked up part about my father. When I talked about how we took care of my father the last 4 years of his life and how this was his bedroom the last 4 years of his life, I had an opportunity over those 4 years to have a lot of very in-depth conversations with my father, and come to find out that my father, for all of these fucked up right-wing conservative views he has, also didn't give a shit who was sleeping with who. If Billy and Steve or Tammy and Susie were getting married, didn't fucking care. Said, it's none of my business. Woman wants to go have an abortion, it's not my say. I was like taken aback to see or hear some of these positions from him. Huge fan of, at the end of his life, Medicare for all. Would say to me, I don't understand why we don't just give the same health insurance I have, Medicare, to everybody in the country. This is ridiculous. People can't afford this shit. He was in favor of unions and a living wage, but also thought that somebody flipping burgers didn't deserve a living wage. So you got a mixed bag out of my father, right? You got the racism, you got the sexism, you got the fuck you, you're a burger flipper, you don't deserve a living wage. But you also got the universal health care and the, I don't care who you're sleeping with and it's your body, your choice. Now, would he have been proud of me for earning the living that I earn? Yeah. He also would have said it wasn't a real job. Keep in mind, I was a landscape contractor for 26 years. Landscaping. This is tough work. I was a project manager before I had my own company, where I had an annual salary, a company truck, 401k, paid vacations, the whole shooting match, a regular career. And he would say to me, when are you going to get a real job? What the fuck are you talking about, a real job? You know, these years and years and years ago, but I'm making $60,000 a year. I got a 401k, 3 weeks of paid vacation, a company truck. What do you mean a real job? He said, landscaping is what college kids do on summer break to earn beer money. That's not a real job. Real job, I'm making more money than you ever did. So he probably would have looked at what I'm doing right now and gone, you do what for a living? But then he would have looked at my tax returns and went, you do what for a living? Keep doing that, man. Keep doing that. So had my father lived, I think there would have been an extraordinarily mixed bag from him as to what I do. Then again, if my father was still alive, my content would probably be very different, because there would be a lot of content talking about conversations with my father that I can't believe I'm having, because we're in the era of Trumpism and he is somehow siding with him. I wish my father could have lived longer and seen more of his grandchildren. He's got a great grandson on the way. I really wish he could have lived to have seen that, but I am sort of glad that he passed away before the era of Trumpism, and I didn't have an opportunity to see him potentially spiral into that cesspool.